years went into getting to this point, so honestly, no. He went 1-1 for the overall win here at Southwick last year, guys. He's healthier and fitter than ever. Can he do it again this year and hold off his brother? We're about to find out.
Oh, so fun. This type of battle between two teammates and brothers who have been 1-2 in most of the races this year. Here's the KTM keys to the Moto, Carmichael.
There you go. Physical preservation, bike preservations. I told you this is the toughest track physically. Got to do the best you can. Find that limit. Don't go into the red zone on heart rate. And then the bike, if you don't have any pressure from behind, you have nothing to gain, nothing to lose, make sure you get that bike to the finish line.
And that is especially true in this 250 class, where they are really wringing these bikes out every ounce of power they can produce in this deep sand. Fly Racing 30-second card is up. And the revs come up as well. Here we go. Looks like Hunter Lawrence got boxed in off the start, and Jett Lawrence going to lead them in and out of turn one. Motosport.com whole shot to your defending champ. And Justin Cooper back to his traditional good starts. We have seen him buried the last couple of weeks. This time he is second.
That's right. If he can put himself back in that state of mind where he was out there winning, having good races, that's what he needs to do. Race forward, race the guy that you battled with for the championship right in front of you. Yes, he's coming off of an injury. However, still feels like it feels pretty good. The injury isn't as bad. So,
yeah, see what Cooper can do. He's got pressure, though, from his teammate, the rookie Nick Romano, who looked pretty quick in our final qualifying session today. He's a New York native, probably spent some time at this track. And RJ Hampshire is fourth. Where is Hunter Lawrence? 12th.
Yeah, Hunter Lawrence, I saw on the start, he got off to it. He got a bad jump out of the gate, so then he was behind from that point on. Like I said, that first corner is extremely narrow, and it just got narrowed up. The door was closed on him, and he's way behind.
Trying to find him here. There he is, battling it out with the 47 of Seth Hamaker, and there is Derek Kelly. He's able to make the move on him,
yeah,
and also around time after.
Oh, going for it, 2 for 1 in the Buckley corner. That is really hard to do. Get by two guys, but he's riding aggressively. He knows he can't waste any time. His brother is out front. I'm sure he understands that.
Unbelievable, just blew by.
Yeah, I mean, he's going for it.
Got by Kitchen, now working on Volan. Unreal.
Well, he has no choice, Jason. He's got to get up front as quick as possible from a race standpoint. Try to give himself an opportunity to possibly challenge his brother. It's going to be tough to do being this far back this early on. But then you shift to points management mode. He at least has to do the best he can to come out of here with the second place.
And last week's winner, Shimoda, is in 6th, a few positions further forward than this. As Jett Lawrence leads the first lap here at Southwick, and his brother Hunter has to work after the bad start.
Well, you see your timing and scoring there. His brother is already 10 seconds out front, in front of him, rather. So he's got a lot of time to make up. And as the gap starts to stretch out, it's going to be harder and harder to get by these guys. Can't get so hard to get past two guys in one corner, like on the first lap, and everyone's still bunched up.
Yeah, he did do some quick work there. 3-4 passes we saw almost instantly, and he's got another pack in front of him. Volan. And this is that battle. He's right at the tail end of this pack. This is Swole, Shimoda, Styles Robertson. 5th, 6th, 7th. Then it would be Volan. Then it would be Hunter Lawrence. And Hunter closing back in on Volan now.
Yeah, I love how this is shaping up right here. Hunter went to the inside. Volan was on the outside. Volan was able to get a better drive out of the corner.
Yeah, wasn't able to make the move there. Nate Thrasher sticking with Hunter Lawrence right behind him. Lawrence passed him a lap ago. They jump in and out of these sand pits. Jett Lawrence has already opened it up to 4.6 seconds on Cooper. He's fending off his teammate Romano.
Unlike the 450s that we just watched, these 250s, much harder to get through the sand. The sand takes a toll on these motorcycles. There's so much resistance against the rolling of the motorcycles. These things asking a lot out of the performance. and the engines. The engine temperatures get extremely hot because of that, because there's so much resistance in the roll speed.
All right, this battle continues. That is Shimoda versus Swole, 5th and 6th. Shimoda going to try to work the outside. Oh, almost went down.
Oh, he tried. Joe tried to get by there. But when he was coming out of that corner, he made a mistake. The bike slipped out.
Going to try again. He's watching the Beta Motorcycles drone cam. Another outside line attempt. Swole holds him back. So good job by Swole.
Yep.
Both times to keep the line in front where Shimoda wanted to go.
Good to see Jalek Swole up there running with these front guys. He's had a rough year. Started in Supercross, got hurt literally on the first lap. Just could never rebound. So to see Jalek up here on this Rockstar Energy Husqvarna factory racing machine running with these front guys will certainly give him some confidence. You know, he's a lot better than what his results have shown.
No, he's had motos where he could not even get to the finish line with the ailing shoulder. And this is definitely going to put, you got an injury, it's going to hurt by the end of the day on this rough track.
Oh, yeah.
Shimoda having to go back to work, so 2 pass temps, couldn't get around. Now it's to wait all the way around to another section to mount another attack on Swole. Hampshire is up ahead in 4th, Romano 3rd, Justin Cooper 2nd, and Jett Lawrence leading, and the damage done. Hunter Lawrence made a few quick passes, got to 9th. He has not been able to advance past that yet. And they're starting to string out, as you were theorizing.
Yeah, well, what we were talking about, too, is when you don't have a huge speed gap on the rider in front of you or behind you, makes it incredibly hard to pass because the guy in front of you is taking the preferred line most of the time, so it makes it really hard to get by the rider in front of you.
Yeah, so Hunter's having to go fast enough to make the pass while in the bad line, and he cannot get around Voland. He's riding very well here. Voland was pretty quick, hovering around the top 5 in the practice sessions earlier today as well.
Just think about that. 2 laps have went by. Hunter's already 17 seconds behind the leader. I mean, Jett Lawrence is making up a lot of time on this pack right here. He's 6 seconds in front of the lead, or in front of 2nd place.
Shimoda giving another shot here on the 31 of Swole. This is Hampshire trying to get Romano for 3rd. Can't quite get it done.
Great job by Nick Romano.
Jett Lawrence has crashed, and Justin Cooper takes the lead. He had nearly a 7-second lead, and it's done.
And I was just going to say, Jason's like, man, this is the worst nightmare for these guys, for Jett to get out in the lead and put it on cruise control. Talked about physical preservation. He was going to get, he could have got out there and just cruised on to the finish line. Now that's not going to be the case, at least for another few laps, or at least half this moto.
He will have to work for it. Credit to him having a big enough lead that he only lost 1 spot with a tip over and is already back on the rear wheel of Cooper.
Yeah, no need. If you're Jett Lawrence right here, there's no need to push it. You have such a speed advantage right now. Think about the long game. The pass, you know, is going to present itself at some point, and when it does, take advantage of it at that point. No need to push the issue right here and force it in.
And then at Romano, Hampshire battle continues for 3rd as you watch the Fly Racing battle box. Can Jett find an opening on Cooper? Working it right here. Not enough. Switches from the inside. Side by side again. On the outside for this next corner, going to have to grease it. Nah, too far wide. Cooper doing a good job, holding him at bay, and then Cooper a mistake, and Jett Lawrence retakes the lead.
Yeah, Cooper was right alongside that the edge of the track. The reason he was there, it's a little bit smoother on that very edge of the track, and just moved over too much, almost high-sided because of it. Jett gets by.
So it's going to appear as 1 lap that Jett did not lead because he crashed right before the finish, but it did not take him long to get the #1 spot back. It looks like Hampshire has done it. He's made the move, if I see this right, on Romano. And with that mistake by Cooper, can Hampshire make a run for 2nd?
Oh, I like RJ Hampshire's chances here today at Southwick. This kid grew up in Florida, born and raised racing in the sand, so he is no stranger to these type racing conditions.
Yeah, he grew up not too far from the legendary Croom I'm sure you spent plenty of time there growing up.
More times than I wanted to, I can tell you that much. Countless hours, burned lots of gas there.
Yeah, that's the sand pit in Florida. That's the hot spot a lot of riders go visit. But Hampshire, that's where he grew up. And he does have Justin Cooper in his sights at some of the longer straightaways on this track. So the Florida native will never cheat you for effort.
No.
Nobody rides as hard as RJ Hampshire.
Yeah, he's one tough customer, certainly, and goes for it. Loves to be out there racing. There's been times where he's had injuries. I'm like, oh, there's no way he's coming back next weekend. And there he is, lined up.
Yeah, had a big crash. Southwick had a hole put in his side under his armpit, and he wanted to come race the next weekend at Colorado. They wouldn't let him do that, but he was back for High Point. Only missed one race after spending several days in the hospital. That's how tough this guy is.
Oh, yeah, he is tough.
Okay, so we'll keep tabs on Hampshire, looking to close back in on Cooper. Jett Lawrence getting away. Hunter Lawrence finally made the move on Voland, but that is still only enough for 8th place. So tough situation there for Hunter, because he did not get the jump off the start. Okay, back to our drone cam with Shimoda and Swole. Shimoda finally has that 5th place position. Oh, and Hunter has gone down. It's gone from bad to worse.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's going to put him outside the top 10, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Pierce Brown goes by. That is 15th place.
Let's see here. Oh, he gets crossed up.
Came into the back.
Gets crossed up behind,
I think Robertson?
Yeah, Robertson. Oh, that's such a bad spot to fall, too, over a blind jump. Oh, you hate that. So he's in the points lead before the moto. Now he's going to be well outside the points lead. Your Jett Lawrence, his brother, he's thinking, okay, yeah, finally I got some redemption, got some points back, but you hate to see your brother crash as well.
16th place for Hunter Lawrence. Only score 5 points if it finished like this. We obviously expect him to move far forward, but it gives you an idea of how much ground he has lost and how devastating this damage is. And there he had to shake the helmet.
He was shaking his goggles. He probably had dirt in his goggles, so he's shaking his goggles, get the dirt out.
Here's the motorsport.com whole shot replay.
Okay, here he is right here. He has a straight shot to the first turn, but he's going to get clobbered up right there. See how this start narrows up so much. You can see he's right here in the middle. There's nothing you can do there. If you get a bad jump out of that gate, guys from the outside and the inside funnel into one area, and you are done for.
And then, as you always say, RC, you get caught in other people's problems.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's certainly not preferred to get a bad start, but when you get caught in other people's problems, 9 out of 10 times it's a byproduct of a bad start.
Yeah, it gets into the back of Styles Robertson, who was in 7th and now finds himself in 16th. Here is Voland in 8th. He is now challenging Robertson.
Well,
and then Swole in 6th.
Yeah, and Styles Robertson coming off a podium last week with a 3-5 finish, rode fantastic.
Yeah, and he needed that one to get his season back on track, and you can see a lot better follow-up than most of the motos he had this year. So that little podium gives him a little boost as we go back to Hampshire, trying to keep Cooper honest. Cooper has picked it back up, opened up to about 3 seconds on Hampshire.
Yeah.
So a much better run today. It's more the Justin Cooper we're used to, who was almost always on the podium. Send it down the wheel more on Justin Cooper.
Just said it, Jason. Yeah, more of the Justin Cooper that we have seen, obviously, in past seasons. When I spoke to the team there earlier on and said, you know, where's he at? What's the progress here? They said, honestly, after last weekend at Redbud, which was not a good result for him, they said he got mad. He got mad. That was him out of title contention as far as they were concerned. They said, but the upside of that is they felt like it also took the pressure off. Everybody was expecting him to come back from this injury. There was a lot of that going. There's his mechanic right there. And they said, honestly, now that's come off. Now he can start to perform. Now it's go time. So, Ricky, it's tough, isn't it, to get into the head of these riders. Justin Cooper's been through a lot, on the couch for a month, off his bike for 5 months. Maybe he just needed that pressure off a little bit to get back to himself.
Yeah, I think so. I think he wasn't riding well. To your point, Will, and what they told you, and had a chance to talk to his mechanic as well. And, yeah, feels a lot better this weekend. And, you know, just try to brush off what happened last weekend and move forward. There's nothing he can do about it. Said he's in a much better place this weekend, and certainly the results are speaking for themselves.
7-9 were the Moto scores last week for Justin Cooper, a rider who just lives on the podium. This is much more like it. Yeah, he had a nice run of 4 straight Moto podiums, so it started to look like it was the same old Justin Cooper. Maybe we got ahead of ourselves, forgetting how devastating that foot injury was.
Yeah, I mean, off the bike for 5 months. I mean, non-weight bearing for almost 2 months. That's a long time, and you get out of shape extremely quick because of that.
Halfway through this Moto, so in 15 minutes we'll be finished, and in 15 minutes you could save 15% or more on your insurance by making a quick phone call to Geico. And Cooper has weathered the storm. It was a little charge there from RJ Hampshire, but this gap is stabilized at about 2 to 3 seconds. Hampshire's got to keep going, though. Joe Shimoda up to 4th and closing.
Yeah, I love it. Sushi Man coming up through the pack. He puts a little sushi emblem on his butt patch there. I love it. Sometimes after his Instagram posts, after the caption, he'll put a little sashimi there. Such a great kid, and I thought his story was cool last week. Didn't even know he had won the overall, but man, he is, I'd say the last 3 rounds, starting at Mount Morris, he rode spectacular last weekend, obviously getting his first outdoor win, rode great, and you can see now he's got some great speed moving up the pack here.
Yeah, starting to close, got around Romano, now going after Hampshire for the podium. And he is catching him quickly. Shimoda is flying here at Southwick, really putting it together, and now we have a battle. Their ETS Racing Fuels drone cam.
Such an epic view right here. Seeing the different lines, guys inside, guys outside. Now you can see where the dirt is kind of like brown, and then it's kind of light. Where it's brown, that's where most of the guys are going, and then where it's light, that's where the track is starting to dry up just a bit. So you see the preferred lines.
Well, Hampshire knows he's there now. Is that Cooper?
That is Cooper.
That is Cooper. So just as quickly as Cooper had opened it up to 3 seconds over Hampshire, Hampshire has caught him, and Shimoda is there. We have a 3-rider battle for second.
Well, and they're not far behind Jett Lawrence in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Joe Shimoda is man on a mission. He turned the fastest lap last time around.
Got off the side of the track. He was on the wrong side of that lap rider. He ends up off the side, and Shimoda makes the move.
Well, I was looking over at timing and scoring. Joe Shimoda was the fastest guy in traffic last lap at a 2:16. The next best was a 2:17 of Hampshire. Jett Lawrence is a 2:18. This is going to be interesting right here. Still a lot of racing left. We got 12 minutes plus 2 laps.
Yeah, can Shimoda continue this run?
Do not turn your channel, I can tell you that much.
He is moving on this Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. There's Cooper on the right side. There's a lap rider in between them. Shimoda gets by him and goes back to work. Now it would be second place.
This straightaway is so rough. I can remember racing there, Jason. It's like when you wanted to rest, you're like, okay, I'm coming to a straightaway, and it was just so rested. You still had to stand up. Let the bike work underneath you is extremely difficult.
You had a funny way of showing that you retired in these motos. I was going to say, we couldn't detect that.
Perception is key, man.
Okay.
Right? Never show weakness.
I like it.
Even though I was in the pain cave, certainly.
All right, Southwick will bring it out at even the best of them, and that's got to be where Cooper and Shimoda are right now. 20 minutes into this moto, and they are sending it. Fighting for position is Cooper. Now Lawrence must have got the memo. He has dipped back out. He's opened it to 5 seconds, but Shimoda is all over Cooper. Oh, and they almost come together. Almost bounced off of each other there. Can Shimoda beat him to the corner? He does. He's in second.
Oh, this is going to be good. Yes, Lawrence, he pulled out his lead, but still Joe was a 2:16 that last moto, and Jett was only a 2:17.
Wow, so Joe, if he can continue this run, and you think he should because he has clear racetrack, can he put a little pressure on Jett Lawrence, who has had a moto? Would have had a huge lead, but a tip over. Now you can see the gaps.
These lappers, they need to give way to the leaders coming up.
And I think they have. So Shimoda carrying the momentum of that win last week at Redbud. I mean, through traffic up to second. Hunter Lawrence still just 14th.
It's the roughest, gnarliest, toughest, most physically demanding discipline in all of motorsports. I'm Ricky Carmichael, 10-time outdoor pro motocross champion. Join us as we unleash the beast in the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship presented by Monster Energy.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
We're back here at Southwick. Jett Lawrence maintaining the lead. It's almost 6 seconds at one point. It's 4.5. Joe Shimoda has found his flow halfway through this moto. Started passing riders quickly. Now he's in second. Can he get to the point where he can put some pressure on Jett Lawrence?
Well, he's got 7 minutes plus 2 laps to go. 7.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. You just have to wonder. Oh, there he is coming from behind. There he is. He's in our screen.
Got it down to 3.9. Another half second lopped off. Meanwhile, troubles for your points leader, Hunter Lawrence, had the bad start, the crash. Got another clip here. Trying to get Pierce Brown.
Yeah. Oh, almost goes down, saves it. Look at him, rips his tear off. He's probably so angry right now after that bad start.
The visor off, so he's eating even more roost than usual. Shimoda takes it from 3.9 to 3.6.
So long as these lappers don't get in Joe's way, it's going to be interesting. Oh, it looks like Jett maybe has turned it up. There's a couple areas where I was watching Jett. Looked like he was laboring a little bit. in the corners, just not really pushing the issue and not being aggressive. So I can tell you right now, this man right here is going for it.
Well, there is a lot on the line if Shimoda could catch.
Yeah.
Jett Lawrence for the lead. He took it down to 3.4 from 3.6.
And this will be a big points day for Joe Shimoda as well, catching up to Hunter. So Hunter needs to minimize the damage here, not give up, push to the end, so long as he's not hurt from that high side.
Yeah, Joe could get it down within Moto, which is 25 points, a little over 30 back from your series leader, Hunter Lawrence. There is the gap right now. Oh, and that exchange to the advantage of Lawrence, it was 3.6. Now it's 4.3.
Yeah, it looks like Jett has put the afterburners on. Maybe he sensed the pressure or the speed of Joe coming over, probably looked over, or perhaps got a signal from his mechanic saying, hey, Joe is on the move. You better get after it.
Well, how much, even without that, how much can you gain and lose in just one section with line choice?
Oh, yeah, you can lose at least a second. At least a second, especially in the sand. This thing gobbles you up pretty quick.
And so did the lap traffic. That really slowed up Jett.
Oh, this is going to mess Jett up for sure. Look at,
Still cannot get by. Let's send it down to Will with the team owner for Joe Shimoda, Mitch Payton.
That's right, Mitch with me now, Jason. Mitch, we're seeing incredible things here yet again from Joe Shimoda there. If you could speak to him, if you could be in his ear right now, what would your advice be?
No advice. But he's riding really good. He just needs to keep his pace up like he's doing, and he should be all right.
What do you think the biggest difference has been for Joe here? His confidence seems to be climbing week by week.
I think he's doing a lot of work. Him and Nick Way have been working a lot on training, so I think that's helping a ton.
Thanks so much, Mitch.
And the legendary team owner, they're giving credit to the new trainer for Shimoda. Started working together just a couple of weeks ago, and it has definitely turned things and the confidence, as she mentioned, after the win, and he is going after Jett Lawrence.
I love it. Got by those lappers relatively easy. Didn't hold him up. They certainly didn't hold up Joe as much as they holded up Jett. So that was an advantage to Joe.
2.2 seconds in what was a 6-second gap.
When you're in this position, Jason, look at, there you go, this perfect view by the drone. When you get to this position, you see you're catching your competitor, and there is blood in the water. It's much easier to reel in this time gap than it was, say, 4 seconds back when you're on the same straightaway.
Hampshire has made the move on Cooper. He's in third. Cooper back to fourth. Folan has gotten through that battle that he was in. He's in fifth. Robertson sixth. Moseman, who I had about 18th early in this moto, is up to 7th. Romano 8th, Swole 9th, Hamaker 10th. Hunter Lawrence, your series points leader, has had all sorts of adversity. He is in 11th place. So if it ends like this, points lead will go back to Jett Lawrence here between these two motos as we keep tabs on Shimoda.
Man, it's like I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's like they're rubber band right now. Yes, Jett did get held up by those lappers.
And the section they just went through, that's where Jett stretched it the previous lap.
Yeah.
Joe closed it in here. We'll find out how much is just Joe is faster in this section, or a lap ago was it just Jett being held up by the lap traffic. We'll know soon.
Yeah. We're about to find out. Looks like Jett has pulled away, and this is where Jett is, you know, he's so good, is he only pushes it to, whoa, he's going for it. You see he's got head shake, his front end was going back and forth. There's another look.
But didn't even lose ground.
No, he didn't lose ground, but I just wonder if Jett was hanging back on purpose, you know, no need to push it. Seems like that's what he's doing. He's only attacking or accelerating when he needs to.
Perhaps it's management mode for your defending champion, Jett Lawrence, the Australian, the 18-year-old, and the 20-year-old out of Japan, Joe Shimoda, keeping him honest. 3 seconds is the gap. And Cooper has slipped back around Hampshire, so they are having a real battle. A couple of times back and forth now.
Wondering,
for that final podium spot.
Wonder if Hampshire had an issue, Jason, because there were like Hampshire was way out front.
Yeah, he lost 6 seconds to Cooper that last time around. And he was 13 seconds off of what Jett Lawrence put in. So, yeah, you have to wonder if there was a mistake or a crash for Hampshire. to give that third place spot back up.
Did you see Jett was peeking over the left side, the peripherals, to see where Shimoda was. I think he's doing it, just keeping him at bay on purpose, not exerting any injury that he doesn't have to. See, look back right there. Great shots by our camera crew, getting the job done.
Fly battle box is Justin Cooper and Hampshire. That battle that has switched a few times, third and fourth, as we continue to watch the leader here, Jett Lawrence.
Well, Hunter needs to slow up. So he's got a minute to burn right here before he crosses the start-finish line. If he crosses it before the 1 minute is up, he's going to add another lap. And I can tell you from personal experience, that is like an eternity when you are at the limit physically. Heart rate is at its max.
Hey, this time in that first sector of the track, Shimoda closed. He went from 3.1 to 2.7, now 2.8. That's usually the section where Jett gets the better of him. This section is usually where Shimoda is quicker. We'll see by the time they get to the finish. And also, as you were theorizing, will the clock expire or not?
He's going to pass it before.
3 to go then.
Yeah, he's going to have about 15 seconds.
Yeah, this is the final corner right here, and there are still 19 seconds to go. So the 2-lap card not in sight. 3 to go for Jett Lawrence.
Oh,
wow.
Man. Oh, this is big.
We'll see the gaps here. Their update in a moment when they come through this stripe. Joe's trying to close in again. Jett off the side of the track looking for some smooth racetrack. Not much you're going to find here at Southwick.
Yeah, I think that I think Joe got held up by that lapper.
Yeah, he did, down to 3.7.
Yeah, he lost a lot of speed, so now he's going to have to hang it out here. But another 2 3/4 lap left. He's going to need some help from these guys if he wants to close the gap.
And Cooper has survived that battle with Hampshire. He now has 5 seconds to spare, back in third, but 21 seconds off of the leader. Mo's been making more moves. He's up to 6 behind Voland. Go ahead.
Talked about giving some perspective to our fans tuned in today. Why Southwick is so hard, and I like to put it to you guys this way. It's like, imagine walking in deep sand and then walking on hard packed clay, which is easier to walk on. Well, of course, you know, the sand is much harder, takes a lot more energy. That's what it's like for these athletes riding in sand. That's what it's like for the motorcycles. There's so much more resistance. It takes a lot more effort for these riders to muscle these bikes around because of the resistance.
Shimoda looking around, wants to see the gap between he and Jett.
Oh, he can see it. It's opening up, unfortunately, for Joe.
Yeah, we thought the 3 to go might work to Joe's advantage, giving him another lap to close in.
Well, Jett was getting us amped up in here inside the booth, Jason, making us think that Joe had a chance, and he looked back and just turned up the wick. And I don't mean Southwick. Look, he's gone now. It's like, it's amazing how this kid can do this at only 18 years old. It is certainly incredible.
I say it every week. You would think the hotshot 18-year-old is wild and reckless, but he rides with such veteran poise, especially outdoors. We've seen some rough edges in Monster Energy Supercross.
But not as much here in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship.
No, even from day one, his first full season, he was kind of quiet. He's a 5th to 6th place rider. Then last year wins the championship. We have not seen the big crashes, the big mistakes from him. Big reason why he has that #1 plate, and potentially will have the points lead after this moto. Now Hunter has moved up to 8th, so he has rallied late to make up some key passes. This is Voland and Robertson in a battle for 6th and 7th. Robertson is all over him. So Voland had passed him earlier. Oh! Robertson gets him.
Yeah, like Voland checks up right there. Robertson's like, up, I'm taking it. You can't give up that much ground. You can't check up at this level. These guys are just stalking you.
And Voland goes back after him. Actually, Moseman has passed them both. Moseman, man, from just inside the top 20 to 5th. Great ride by Moseman that won't show in the results. And Hunter Lawrence has caught these two. There is Hunter. See the red fenders. There he is.
Yeah, great comeback from Hunter Lawrence. That's a testament to his physical fitness. Not easy to do. Bad start. Took a tough crash, getting crossed up behind Styles Robertson's rear tire. Almost crashes again that we saw coming out of that corner, slips up. Been eating roost the whole time.
Hunter in position now to take another spot. That'd be 1 championship point. That's the difference between 8th and 7th. Can he get Vohland right here? Oh, crossed him up. Beautiful move.
Same type situation how Robertson got by Max Vohland. Quarter of the way through the corner, looked like Vohland stood his bike up. Boom. Hunter was lined up to go right up the inside. That was a great pass by Hunter Lawrence. If you think about this from a championships perspective, I know sometimes we talk about it, every point counts. So that pass is crucial, could be crucial by the time we get to the final round.
Well, a wise man once said, you win your titles on your bad days.
That's
and
right.
He is persevering. 7th isn't what he came here to get, but it's a whole lot better than it could have been.
Well, and he still has an opportunity to gain some ground, possibly pick up another position right here if he's able to get by Styles Robertson. Certainly closing in the gap here. And he's got to push, continue to pressure, push, and get that 6th spot.
He's close enough to get there, but will he have time? We are on to the last lap. Shimoda put in a charge. Lawrence finally said, no. He just ran a 2:20 on this lap, and the gap that was once 3 seconds is 9.5. He put almost 4 seconds into Joe in 1 lap to finish this one off. We'll keep watching this battle between Robertson and Hunter Lawrence for 6th. Mosiman, an underrated ride, for 5th. Hampshire 4th, Cooper 3rd, Shimoda 2nd, and Jett Lawrence headed for a Moto win. Hunter just keeps charging. And he has to. They're just getting the white flag now as Jett's far ahead. We're talking a minute, almost a half a lap further up.
Oh, look at Hunter was trying to get up the inside there. Bummed that lapper, I think that lapper took an opportunity for Hunter to get by there. He still has a lot of this is a long lap here. He needs to stick with Styles, be right on his rear end. Styles slips just one bit, boom, he needs to take advantage of that mistake or one little slip up. That's only if Styles makes a mistake. Now, if Styles doesn't slip up, then he's gonna have to force the issue to get by and just be craftier with his lines.
The clock has expired, but Hunter's going to keep on digging on this final lap. No other changes on the racetrack. Kitchen a bad start. He has climbed up to 9th, and Romano, who was up front early, is back to 10th. Can Robertson hold Hunter Lawrence off? Jett Lawrence, meanwhile, you see him here, headed for daylight. Well, that was short-lived. Lost the points lead. Should have it back at the end of this moto, but in a little over an hour's time, we will have the 2nd moto of the day. Jett Lawrence wins the first moto here at Southwick. Good management job by him. Made it interesting as Shimoda closed the gap.
I can't believe the gap he pulled in the last 2.5 laps.
Oh, there it is. Hunter, an aggressive move down to the inside and gets Robertson.
Wow, great pass by Hunter Lawrence. Last lap. Talked about it again. That could be the deciding move come the last race of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. Might not seem like it now, but those points are all so important.
We had him in 16th place, and now he's looking to dig out a 6th. That's 10 points he made up in the last couple of laps of this moto. What an effort by Hunter Lawrence. What will he have left in Moto 2? Because you know he went deep in this one to make these passes late. The crowd saluting that effort. Shimoda has come across in 2nd, Justin Cooper 3rd, Hampshire 4th, Mosiman 5th, and there it is. Minimizing the damage. Hunter Lawrence, 10 positions made up late in that one. Meanwhile, his brother Jett already into recovery mode for Moto 2.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Oil Pro Motocross is back at Spring Creek MX Park in Millville. It's the 40th annual Pro National, sponsored by Frescatos. It's a whole week of motocross fun as the gates open Wednesday, July 13th at 5, with practice all day Thursday and amateur racing on Friday, sponsored by Dunlop. Then the pros hit the track Saturday at high noon for the Pro National, sponsored by Frescatos, followed by amateur racing on Sunday, sponsored by 100%. Tickets on sale at the gate or buy them now online at springcreekmx.com. That's springcreekmx.com. No sellouts Saturday, July 16th. It's a day of fun for the whole family.
You have just won 3 championships in a row.
Man, Supercross is giving me everything. It's just had such a blast doing it.
And you get it all the way around here.
This past season, it's like I had 7 surgeries in 9 months. I don't want to be put under again. I don't see the end in sight because, like, what else am I going to do?
That run out, you know?
Unleashed with Dingo and Daly, fueled by Monster Energy.
History being made.
Eli Tomac wins the 450 main in Anaheim.
Eli Tomac,
6-time Daytona Supercross winner,
claims the victory in the Motor City.
Tomac 5 in a row. Eli Tomac
Dominates in Indy.
wins in Seattle.
In 2022, the book of Eli is complete. He is the Monster Energy AMA Supercross champion.
Clean up your toughest messes super easy, super fast. Only Super Clean is formulated to do the work for you. Just spray it on and watch the grease and grime wash away. Super Clean is the only cleaner degreaser that is scientifically formulated to kick any mess to the curb, so you can move on to more important things. For all of your greasiest, grimiest, toughest tasks around the house, shop, or garage, Super Clean gets the job done. Super Clean. Super easy, super fast.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. Honda, celebrating 50 years of off-road dominance. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
We're back at Southwick. Let's give you the highlights from our first 250 moto of the day. The Lucas Oil race recap. Hunter Lawrence buried off the start, even gets bumped. He's way back. Meanwhile, his brother Jett grabs the whole shot. Justin Cooper in second, and then Jett crashes, so Cooper goes by to take over the lead. Didn't take long for Jett to reel him back in, and the mistake for Cooper opens the door. And Jett's back into the #1 spot. Things that go from bad to worse for Hunter Lawrence. Big crash, and he got hit by a couple of riders there. Unbelievable, he was able to get up relatively uninjured and somehow rally all the way back for 6th. Joe Shimoda really caught fire second half of this race, makes the move on Cooper for 2nd, and even kept Jett Lawrence honest for the majority of this one. But the last 2 laps, Jett pulls back away and holds on for a 10-second win. So there it is, Jett Lawrence wins the moto. As mentioned, Hunter comes back for 6th. We'll send it down to the podium with Will, who has our race winner.
Thank you, Jason. Yes, and with that finish, Jett Lawrence now getting back the points lead to the tune of 3 points there, Jett. You were just trying to figure that out in your head where your brother would finish. Is there a feeling of relief now to get that back so quickly?
I mean, it's obviously nice. The day hasn't finished. He could easily win the next one. I could get second, and then it's back to even. So it doesn't change much. So I'm still going to try and go in and get another good start like I did and try and not make that silly mistake I did. It was I started to feel a bit too good on those first few laps, and I just relaxed a little bit, and that double was a little funny, and I kept on trying to hit it and just landed, and the front wheel just rolled over. I tried saying it, but I just ended up having to tip it over. But no, this track's pretty gnarly right now. It's got some rollers, but the rollers are really tight, so you can't do much with them. But no, the track's good. Hopefully just go and do the same in the second one.
Congratulations, Jett. Thanks so much.
And he doesn't look that tired. He's able to maintain it up front. Shimoda finishes second. Cooper back on the podium. Third in that moto. Hampshire Mosman from way, way back to fifth. Lawrence perseveres for sixth. And he had a big battle with Robertson down to the wire. And watch this. Aggressive move by Hunter. Apparently there was some bad blood brewing here in this one. Look at this. Wow.
Whoa.
Getting really aggressive.
Wow.
Robertson saying, come on back.
Yeah, he was. I like it. They're fired up.
So that was a...
Yeah, I don't know what he was bummed about. I mean,